What is up YouTube, I'm BenPlaysGames guys, and today I'm back bringing you guys another COD Zombies video. This time I'm bringing you a video on one of my personal favourite games for zombies of all time, Call of Duty Black Ops 1. In today's video I'll be ranking all of the Black Ops 1 maps, but this ranking will be a little bit different as I'll be giving a little bit of a retrospective on each map, as well as why it's ranked in the spot it is. This video is the second in a new mini-series that I've started on my channel, with the first one being World at War. I'll make sure to put a card on the screen now and at the end of the video in case you guys missed that one. You will also have to excuse me today as I do have a bit of the man flu, which is why my voice sounds a little bit different to what it normally does, but we're going to push through and we're going to get this done for you guys. I'll also now throw up some of your guys' comments from the last video on screen now. If you like COD zombie content and you really enjoy this video, do make sure to drop a like and subscribe on the channel, as this really motivates me to continue to pump out the content for you guys. We recently hit 2,700 subscribers and that milestone was a long time coming for me, so all the support from you guys recently has been so amazing to see, and I genuinely can't thank you enough for that. I've also been grinding out short form content over on my TikTok and really want to start streaming on there, as well as on my Twitch at the same time, but unfortunately you do need 1,000 followers to stream on TikTok, so it would mean the absolute world to me if you guys could go over there if you do use TikTok and drop me a follow over there after watching this video. The links will all be in the description. Finally, before we do get into this video, I do just want to make the point that my gameplay I've used for Ascension, Shangri-La, Moon and Call of the Dead is all from Black Ops 3. Simply put, this is because I didn't want to buy the DLC for PC in 2024 when I'm only going to play it once, just to get the gameplay for this video, and my PS3 where I played and owned all the DLC back in the day is probably lost in the dark ether at this point, so there's no hope of finding that for the gameplay. It is also mentioning today that this is our first game with remasters, and I won't be including remasters in this list. Remakes, such as The Machine in Cold War, the remake of Nocta and Totem, that will be included because it's actually a new map. But such as the World at War maps in Black Ops 1, they won't be because they're not remakes. So like when we get to Black Ops 3, I won't include Chronicles, that sort of thing. Hopefully that makes sense. But without further ado, let's get into retrospectively ranking all of Black Ops 1 Zombies maps. So coming in at our number 7 spot, ranking the lowest on Black Ops 1, we do in fact have Dead Ops Arcade 1. As much as it pains me to put Dead Ops at the lowest spot in this list because I personally loved it, it just didn't have a ton of replayability or really offer too much, but I do think that's the beauty of Dead Ops. It is literally an arcade machine version of our beloved Call of Duty Zombies. I'm not sure if they ever did make it an actual arcade machine, but if they did, honestly, I need one and may end up making it in reality when I'm fucking rich someday, you know what I mean? On the overall tier list for the series, I'm putting Dead Ops in the D tier, but it's with a lot of love, and honestly, I wish I could rank it higher, but I simply can't. I'm sorry, Dead Ops, and I'm sorry, Dead Ops lovers, if you are watching. Trust me, I want to put it higher, but I just can't bring myself to. Coming in at the number 6 spot, we controversially have 5. I personally never had a good experience playing 5. The Wonder Weapon, the Winter's Howl, is an incredibly cool concept for a Wonder Weapon. However, in execution, it is simply terrible. It barely kills zombies when it's pack-a-punched after round 20. It's basically a ray gun, but worse in literally every single way. Next, you have the glitches. 5 on Black Ops 1 has an unbelievable amount of game-breaking glitches, where on the Xbox 360 and PS3 versions of the game, you could just get out the map as long as you weren't the host. Obviously, being the Zombies player in my friend group, my friends always made me host the game, knowing every game they could just break and bug the game, leaving me to fend off the hordes on my own. Literally every single game. The one redeeming factor, however, that 5 does have for me is the cast. JFK, Fidel Castro, Richard Nixon and Robert McNamara are all great characters, and the JFK voice that Jim Meskimen did is near perfect, honestly. So for that, I'm putting 5 in the overall C tier for the series. Coming in at our number 5 spot is Ascension. Unfortunately for me, Ascension didn't really stand out at all. I personally felt that Ascension was essentially Kino de Totem, but just not very fun. The mini-boss rounds, which were dog rounds up to this point, were replaced by monkeys on this map, who would essentially come along and stomp you into the ground, whilst also simultaneously stealing your most important perks, and the Wonder Weapon was just reused from Kino. Yes, it's the Thunder Gun, and the Thunder Gun is your essential Wonder Weapon, but I personally like when Treyarch makes a new Wonder Weapon and it absolutely bangs, such as the Apothecary Servant or the Wave Gun. I do, however, have to give Ascension quite a bit of credit too, because it introduced a lot of new things for the player to purchase and acquire while smashing the undead. As far as perks go, Ascension introduced the most perks ever in a single map aside from Verrucht. It introduced both PhD Flopper and Stamina, which since have become two of the community, myself included, favourite perks. PhD has one of the catchiest and coolest perk jingles of all time, and both perks are very useful, fun and creative. As far as weapons go, Ascension also introduced two alternatives to your secondary grenade, which up to this point you only had monkey bombs. As the map is based in Russia, first up we had the Matryoshka dolls. They essentially didn't have a monkey bomb effect, but just blew absolutely everything up around them, and they were just really cool. The second secondary grenade introduced was the Gersh device. The Gersh device would essentially spawn in a black hole and suck absolutely everything into that black hole around it for around 5 to 10 seconds. You could also then teleport somewhere different on the map if you walked into the black hole. Great logic, by the way. Both of these alternative secondary grenades were a great addition to zombies. Thanks to the many great things that I've just said that Ascension introduced into zombies, I am going to put it in the B tier overall, the low B tier that is. As innovation is great, it's just a shame the map wasn't much fun to coincide with the innovation, otherwise Ascension would have probably been much higher on this list. Coming in at our number 4 spot, we do indeed have Shangri-La. Now, Shang is the first map on this list where I don't have too much bad stuff to say. The monkeys were annoying, yes, but at least they didn't take your fucking juggernog this time round. 3179 JGB215, also known as the baby gun, has to be one of the best ideas for a wonder weapon ever, and even better so, it was executed perfectly, at least in the Black Ops 1 version of the map. Baby gun literally does what it says in the name, and you get some incredible dialogue from all 4 of the Ultimates cast when using it. Shangri-La also still has a level of mystery to it to this day. People still do not know where this map is, whether it's in some jungle on Earth or if it's on planet Mars. Nobody knows. Treyarch have hinted to where it is several times, most notably on Black Ops 4's final map, Tag the Toten, but it has never been officially confirmed, and personally I think that's sick. The fact that the map came out 13-14 years ago and we still don't know where it's located is just mind-blowing to me. It has to be said, however, that Shangri-La isn't higher on this list. It's quite simple. You may comment skill issue or whatever, but this map is fucking hard. Like, super hard. Like, original Narc Toten hard. Long, thin, twisty tunnels, waterfalls that can knock you over a cliff, and even mud that's 50 times worse than the mud on Origins. This map is genuinely just so hard. One day I would love to get round 100 on this map, specifically the Black Ops 3 version to give myself a slight advantage with Gobblegums, but even then it's going to be a hard one. On the overall tier list, I'm ranking Shangri-La as a high B tier map. Now, you know what the top 3 maps are, but in what order are they going to come? Coming in at our number 3 spot is Call of the Dead. Rest in peace, my boy George Romero. Call of the Dead is set on a movie set in Siberia where our main character cast is actually the cast for George Romero's next big film. During the intro cutscene, we see the cast, Danny Trejo, Sarah Michelle Gellar, Robert Englund and Michael Rooker kicking fake zombies' ass, and George Romero states that a real zombie doesn't look dead enough before the real zombie carries him away into the darkness, and our cast of characters have to carry on fighting off the real undead. Honestly, if that's not a badass way of introducing a COD Zombies map, I don't know what is. Call of the Dead also introduced 2 brand new wonder weapons, one of which only recently returned within MW3 Zombies, and the other is still yet to return. Those, of course, being the VR11 and the Scavenger. VR11 is an awful gun on solo. However, when pack-a-punched on multiplayer, you can shoot it at one of your teammates to grant them insta-kill and immunity for a few seconds. This is why to date, again 13 or 14 years after this map released, the highest round that has been ever achieved is in multiplayer, not single player. This again is the only map where this is the case. Going back to the other wonder weapon, the Scavenger, again, personally, I think this is a fantastic concept for a wonder weapon that is executed almost perfectly. The only slight letdown for this weapon is that PhD is a must, but who cares? PhD is on Call of the Dead and the Scavenger is only on Call of the Dead, so it's not an issue. The Scavenger is essentially a sniper rifle that shoots a very high damaging explosive bullet when fired. It is easily the best way to kill George Romero in Call of the Dead as well, thanks to its high damage. Talking of which, George Romero is a great boss that adds a unique challenge to this map. He will essentially stalk the players for the entire game pretty harmlessly. That is, unless you get too close to him or decide to shoot him. At that point, he will then become enraged and chase the player closest to him until you guide him to one of several ice lakes on the map. If you do manage to take him and his 250,000 health, which is then multiplied by the amount of players out, he will then drop you a Death Machine power-up and a free perk. Cheers, George. Really appreciate that one, mate. Thank you. Finally, the Easter egg on this map is also worth mentioning. You are essentially helping the Ultimus team teleport away from the Call of the Dead site as they're trapped underneath the lighthouse in a dark bunker. The dialogue between them during this is genuinely hilarious. If you've never heard it, go look it up now. And honestly, that alone just makes it worth mentioning. On the overall tier list, I'm going to rank Call of the Dead as our first A tier map. Genuinely just really fun all round and a great zombies experience. Moving on into our number 2 spot, we have Moon. Moon was just amazing. It was the first zombies map that started a little bit different to all the others before it. You spawn in a secluded area within Area 51. A few zombies spawn in and you kill them before noticing there isn't even a round counter in the corner of your screen. Next thing you know, a million zombies and dogs are just started sprinting towards you, and before you even have a chance to think, you're down. On your 87th try, you will realise there's a teleporter that opens up inside the aircraft hangar that you were in, and you manage to jump into it. Next thing you know, you're suffocating and there's low gravity. This is Moon. After equipping your PTS, you navigate the map, usually through Tunnel 6. Only AI goes through Tunnel 11. Nobody ever goes through Tunnel 11. You have to go through to Tunnel 6. You eventually get to the box and you're playing zombies like normal. Moon introduced a bunch of new gameplay features and elements, such as the low gravity and also equipable equipment in the form of the PTS and the hacking device. The PTS is essential for survival until you turn on the power. The hacking device, however, is one of the greatest pieces of equipment in zombies history. You could use this device for just about anything, whether it be a perk machine to remove the perk from yourself, the mystery box to re-roll it, or even a power-up from a zombie to turn it into a max ammo. This thing was crazy. Next, we finally get into the wonder weapon, the Zap Guns / Wave Gun. My god, this thing is fun. The gameplay that I've used for Moon is my round 100 run on the Black Ops 3 version from back into the 2020 lockdown, and even after using the wave gun for just under 5 hours straight, it still doesn't get boring watching the zombies bloat up and explode. I also do think the Zap Guns don't get enough love, purely because of how good the wave gun is. They're essentially mini Wonder-Waffs, and honestly, they're really cool to use. Next, we do get to Moon's Easter egg. Moon's Easter egg, to keep it simple, is the one where you blow up the Earth. It is also the Easter egg that essentially sets up the entire Victis storyline of Black Ops 2, which obviously includes fan favourite classic maps such as Die Rise and Buried. None of those maps could have or would have happened without Moon. Treyarch truly pushed the boundaries of the PS3 and Xbox 360s in 2010 when making Moon, and it paid off tenfold. On our overall tier list, I'm ranking Moon in the S tier, as I genuinely think it's the best this game has to offer. Apart from our number 1, of course.
Where are we?
Ven of
It's kick-ass. Let's do it!
Finally, we get into our number 1 spot. Controversially, I have decided to stick with 16-year-old me's ranking of Kino der Toten. Now look, I get it. Kino der Toten is spoken about enough and is honestly one of, if not the most overhyped map in COD Zombies history. But there's obviously a reason for that. Kino der Toten for me is the reason zombies grew to what it was in 2016 and 17. Kino der Toten is what made myself and millions fall in love with this third game mode. Kino der Toten is COD Zombies at one of its greatest points. Beautiful simplicity. Kino der Toten is COD Zombies. It did have its fair share of innovation, with a few new traps being the fire pit trap and also the sentry gun that was on the stage, and it also introduced one of the greatest wonder weapons of all time, the thunder gun. It also brought back our beloved Ultimus cast in their full glory, and as I say, it's just simple. There's not too much to it, but that's why so many people, including myself, love it. You don't have to build 5 buildables, use 3 teleporters, pick up a shield and drink Nikolai's vodka before you can pack a punch on this map. You just teleport to it, simple as. You don't have to hunt for parts and upgrade quests for the wonder weapon. You just get it from the box, pack a punch it, there you go, done. It's this simplicity that a lot of players miss, and that's why I know a lot of people will agree with me that placing it in the number 1 spot is the correct thing to do. Don't get me wrong, some of my other favourite maps in COD Zombies are maps where you have to build 8 different buildables, upgrade the wonder weapon via quests, build shields and drink Nikolai's vodka. But sometimes it is just nice to return to that simplicity and enjoy it. Also, the Easter egg song is one of the best of all time and remains in my playlist to this day on Spotify. And finally, the greatest gun of all time, the Commando, was on this map as well, which is enough on its own to place it in the #1 spot. On the overall list, I am obviously going to be putting Kino de Toten at the top of the S tier list, because I simply love it. Unfortunately though, that is all I have for you guys today. A video on me giving a retrospective ranking on all Black Ops 1 Zombies maps. As I said at the start, this is a series on the channel I'm doing whilst we wait for some content to actually come out in the Zombies themed season of Modern Warfare Zombies. So if you have enjoyed the video and are looking forward to the Black Ops 2 version of this video, make sure to subscribe and like, and also leave a comment on your ranking of Black Ops 1's maps and why. I'd love to have a discussion with you guys in the comments. Also remember, I will throw up the comments from this video at the start of the Black Ops 2 video, so make sure to leave them below. Finally, before I do go, remember to follow me over on my Twitch and, more importantly at the moment, my TikTok, because I'm trying to be able to go live over there too. Thanks for watching, everybody. I've been BenPlaysGames. I hope my voice is back to normal as well for the next one, but I'll see you there. Bye bye.